like the delay was so long. I will give it a few minutes. I probably don't even need to roll an ad yet. But let me check. Hopefully y'all do come back. Hey, somebody's here. Thank you. Sorry about that time I actually got disconnected from the internet, but I think somebody started crying. I don't know if it's because of something I said about Matt Berry. Doesn't seem likely, right? That sounds kind of ridiculous. But right before I was gonna connect to the stream, I was like gonna cry, and I kept hearing like, "Don't read this book. Stop reading this book." Blah 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 blah. And it's like, why? This is like beautiful. This is like so pretty, but it's bringing tears to somebody's eyes. And I thought that was kind of weird. That the whole thing is like, "Don't do that. Stop it." Stop what? Making you emotional with my beautiful words and absolutely poetic soul that I bear to anyone and everyone, because that is my truth, and I honor my truth by being the person that guides people to their own truths and their own honesty. So, what are you gonna do? You know? What are you gonna do? Just keep creeping? Or, yeah, probably. Somebody been picking at their fingers? I today had a weird experience actually with that, so might as well talk about it since it's coming up now. And I'm low-key starting to upload this stream since there's so many of them. But therefore I'm not looking at the screen, just FYI. There was a moment today where I had, you know how sometimes you get like a little skin on your fingers? And I felt it, and it was as if I was touching someone else's hand. It was almost like the creepiest thing ever, where it just didn't feel like my finger. And then I went to go like pick it off, kind of, and I couldn't. And I was like, man, that doesn't feel like my skin. And then I went to go bite it off and like spit it out. And it was just one of those moments of like, I don't know, almost like creeped me out. I'm doing so many things all the time. Almost ready. Yes, we got 20 minutes. Oh, hey. Hey. I didn't even realize you were here. You're so lucky for what? Hi. Thank you. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the screen. I was missing your chats. I would have never not reacted to the things that you said. Oh. You guys are so cute about that. That's such a sweet thought. Thanks. Yeah, so we just were on and got disrupted a few times. So welcome and welcome back. Oh, it's 4:20 on the clock. Yeah, we should. Hey, come gather around, y'all. Let's get high as hell because it's like in the early morning we're gonna be going to sleep, and sometimes it's just too much to dream, you know. Somebody's hardcore judging me. They're like, "Don't read the book. Don't smoke so much weed." Oh, good. I'm glad. I hear the judgments. It's funny. Who's calling me? Who, like, I don't understand. If there's nothing, it's like, oh, you can challenge me mentally. How much can you control? None. Done. Come talk to me about it. Come negotiate. That's fine. But don't fucking try to do this whole, oh, from a distance. Sorry if a more unhealed, younger version of myself used to do that. I couldn't understand how life worked or my place in it. I was lied to for a long time. Sometimes I'm not even convinced of this reality, right? Blame it on the dysphoria. Blame it on the dysphoria. It's just burning. I'm trying to put it out at this point. I don't really smoke as much weed as y'all probably think I do. I don't smoke that amount of weed every time I smoke all day long. I don't just do that. I smoke if I absolutely am having a moment where I'm like a little too over the top, because I'm well aware that my PMDD is a lot like having bipolar disorder, and that I generally am better off being slightly sedated if I'm getting over worked up when I'm alone, being relatively sedated when I'm with other people, or being extremely sedated if I'm around people that is out of my control or in large quantities. Not sedated on meds, just smoking weed. Sure, get me fucking weed pills, I guess. It's just like, what is the difference? You're right, I should do more lung exercises if I'm going to smoke weed. You're absolutely right. And you're worried about my voice, but I handle it too. I'm letting the mushrooms guide me. It's live, B. Oh, man. Sometimes when you do the breathing, you get this like head rush that makes you feel kind of high. Feels good. Feels so good. Oh, yeah. I was pretty sure I found what I was meant to do and who I was supposed to be, but I didn't trust it because I had not yet understood my own knowing. But I knew I wanted love and acceptance too. Tried for validation, tried to get approved, but I had to ask myself WWYD, and in time I'd realize that question is the same as what would I do, because the why is you. Oh, you were so sweet. I love how you said that when I started reading. But also me, your freaking brain, as I thought since I was 19 and I knew a lot, but not enough. Thank you. Made those when I first made the Twitch. I always feel like I should update them and forget. If I proved anything, it's that I'm tough. But who wants to be tough all the time? Not me. I'm tired. I hate instilling fear in others. For a long time, I had not seen the fear that was binding others to me. I could joke about being mean or intimidating, but these people still loved me, didn't they? But they didn't. Not in a real way, anyway. When I was feared, I got anything I wanted all the time with ease. But I didn't want to be feared. I wanted to be loved. So when I let go of the animosity that kept everybody on their toes, I found I struggled more than ever to recover. I had no idea love would be so fucking isolating. But there I was, being soft and vulnerable, honest and compassionate, trying to be less blunt and brutal. It goes okay. I am not here to teach you things that you don't already know, nor am I here to create an existence not already present. I am here to show you. I am here to show you things that have always been in front of you, but you refuse to see, for I am a channel, a vessel, a universal being. Search, I am the eyes of both worlds. Find, there is a beauty around us, the kind that can be seen easily. And that beauty is tied to something else that you can only understand. Sorry, the lighting is so funny. Yeah, of course I do. I mean, I have a link tree. See, there's like a ton of ways to spend money. And like I made a wish list at one point, but I don't know where it is. Yeah, I don't know what else you need my gifts. So, oh yeah, let's see. Probably no. It's weird. Stay out of my ear. Definitely stay out of there. You have got to be nice to your ego. The point of life will forever be debated, but let me say this, the goal is, and has always been, on every level for every being evolution. Our goal should be reflected in what we do, when we learn from a teacher or follow a leader. The goal is not to replicate who or what that teacher or leader is, but rather to take those teachings and followings and interpret them in your own way. You turn out your own creation, perspective, a new wisdom. That stuff is really groovy. Not everything you do will pass or ascend the masters. It may not be some kind of revelation to humanity like a missing link. The point is for you, your personal masters, your personal ascension. Life is the story of your mind unfold. Your own evolution is the goal. I don't know, but I started scratching myself. So maybe you're dealing with addiction. Maybe that's why I got such jumpy energy. To kill your ego is to insult God's creation. The ego is the individual. Think of the way psychologists have categorized and labeled the human mind: superego, ego, id, right? What we must gain control over is this one, superego. It is the luxury adapted. It is best to let this one observe at a safe distance. I want, I have, I claim, I own. The part in which desires conquering and how ego is perceived. When you take super aspect of the ego out of it, you are left with your own humanist interpretation of you, your ability to commune. That's funny. For some reason, our own sense of individualism is seen as some evil thing to kill, rather detached from the idea of having to be it and embrace all change that arises. Become comfortable with your bare bones. Who is always on here watching and scratching their head? They're like, what is this? What is she saying? What is she talking about? Just listen. Watch the replay if you need to catch up. Be comfortable with your bare bones and then dress them in your warmest clothes. That's ego, of course. Or the ego and the id. That as they have to work together for a functional human existence. Without ego, we would be animal. Without id, we would be dead. The superego is superfluous. The ego is consciousness. The id is survivance. Do you want to kill your ego because you hate yourself or because you don't know who you are? You have arrived specifically and divinely in this very vessel that is your body. It is your job to be it, take care of it, nurture it, love it, become its greatest potential. It is your only job. Should you be assigned a purpose or ascribed a role, as we all are, but do not all fully realize, then becoming it is to secure that purpose. Good and evil are a basic as a concept as masculine and feminine. Commonly, they lack the same thing, neutrality, the third variety. Universal binary is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5-digit code of abundance. But if it is neither here nor there, it is everywhere, and we are brought to now. This is to see the self, accept the self, and honor the self. Heal your heart so that you may embrace your ego without harm. Thank you. Not necessarily. Some people are scared of me. And to me, I'm like the least. Thank you. I'm like the least. It's funny you said that. Okay, so it's really odd to watch the chat has a delay in it. Thank you. Have we met? Or just like this? I know I get that a lot. And it's not even like I've done it on purpose. It's just something that's happened. You hear something so much, you just become it. Or I think because I've always been a follower of Christ, I was always like in prayer in a state of meditation. So, okay, so there's a delay in the chat. So as I said something about myself, you were saying you're really cool. And I stopped to say, I scare some people. And you're like, yeah, I think you're cool. And I'm like, I agree. Pretty cool, right? So, thank you. But yeah, it happens a lot, the chat. I'll answer people's questions before they actually ask them, but while they're typing them or sending it. And it's like so creepy because they'll be like, holy shit, I know you didn't even see the chat yet because it didn't pop up in the stream. Like, that's so nuts. Oh, well, thank you, whoever you are. Okay. Everybody thinks they want to be my friend. Oh, good, I'm glad. That's so rare for me. I'm tapping though. Who are you? Somebody's angry. Somebody's lying. Or not lying, I shouldn't say, but somebody's really impatient. I thought last night there was a smoker, so I thought maybe this was a cigarette, but this is actually somebody being impatient. Yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to feel like that, I guess. That's the lessons that we're learning. Somebody's like, ah, that, 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 that. But if it is neither here nor there, it is everywhere, and we are brought to now. I already read this page, so we're going to move on. Yeah. I get that. Because we are all delicately crafted to be here together in all uncertainty of life as we know it on this planet and any dimensions, the flesh becomes freedom, not a prison, to enact such beauty all the time while we are human. We are here to express, and so I express love. I loved you yesterday, I loved you today, I love you now. I love you to the moon and without conditions too. And when you ask me how, I'll say because you're you, because you're you, because you're you. That's what love really is. Seeing it before you in everybody you meet. So maybe we ought to smile at people on the street, but then we'd have to get rid of the creeps. And maybe that's not tolerant of us, but that's why we have boundaries and use discernment, which can be the very value of energy quantifiably. Because we all choose our own experience as our own before we got here, and as we go, we simultaneously work with the existence of everything that is to ever happen, also known as the Akash or Akashic Record. So those of us who can see it and read it and access it are effectively time travelers on planet Earth. Pretty amazing, ain't that right? Because the hourglass is a Tesla coil and the sands of time are electric, that is why we feel impulses, connectedness, attraction. We remember that in which we had always pulled. Inertia in the root is the only push we need. Happiness is the availability to make for joy. That may take time, yet time, after all, is infinite. Remember this? And then the pen ran out of ink, and I thought I'd better go out and get the same one, letting that obsessive compulsive nature riddle my mind. Then, after a day or two, I realized part of the story is a new pen for some fresh lines. Beauty waits for none to see it, for it is always existing, and what in existence is this? It creates variables, one full of lights beaming from the darkest places of the universe with us or around, naturally. Because the wisdom in me is from eternity, there is always some to have and none to hold. Best shared is stories told. I'm imagining so much because when you tell me I'm wrong, I'm forced to question myself. Because today I thought of things to say in regards to love and consciousness, but it came as quick as it left and as though a flash, and I wanted all day before I chose a new pen. So I waited all day before I chose a new pen, so I can't remember the lesson, but if I should prove it to be imperative, I have good faith I'll remember the words most intended for the pages, even if they are never. I think a good point to make is how my knowing, my learning, and my teaching, my gifts that are so apparent to many beings can still be faulty. I don't know. I didn't even finish this one yet, actually. I just read the update as I go because it's fun, you know. Get people hooked in. This is just a part of a probably 3-part book, kind of like this is set up, and I'm hoping this will become. It's like, you know, I don't have any kind of investments into these things, so I read it out loud on the stream so that as many people hear it as possible. In case anybody wants to take my writings or teachings, as many people like to watch my stream and then just like act like they've never even met me. It's very bizarre, but maybe I've done that to people. I don't know. But anyways. I still wonder what God intends, having created this world and making me this person, but I am often reminded that some of love is underneath the very surface we see, just as some of life stay unforeseen as that is true unfolding. To know is to let the unknown be such. Sigil of a Sacred Heart. Although my eyes may deceive, I thought through God I'd imperviously receive. And I move, and I never want to be broken. I don't know, some of it's hard to read. It's my handwriting at the end of the day. That's why I'm like, when it comes to the book, it's going to take a while. I'm not. I'm just reading it. You may have missed the first few pages because I think the stream got disrupted. And also, I have 3 minutes until I have to roll the ads, so I'm going to roll them now so that I don't start the next page and not have time to finish it before the ads auto roll. Me too. I think this is partially channeled, partially self-expression. But yeah, so we will be back in 3 minutes. Hey y'all, you've been drinking water. I moved to camera settings so you could like do of art more than you can see. Focus. This laptop. Thank you. Happiness is the availability you make for joy. That may take time, yet time. That, because I don't remember reading that part. Oh yeah, we already page 2. That's weird. Opened up and was like, I don't remember reading that. Okay. So the pages. So these are this past week or so, and then added quick pages today. But text. No, I don't know. Today, then I read from some technological source that the number 28 is the number of abundance. So yesterday I decided today my abundance is coming. I know not what it is, but I accept. Is it what I'd expect? Is it everything I've ever wanted? Is it the material life or love I long for? Or is it a simple change at the core? One thing is certain, I don't need hope anymore. It happens sometimes on my stream. Hope got me to this place on the road to where we are now, and I finally can put it down because while I needed it, I no longer do now. For I am one who walks in faith, and hope has taught me how. This I do not question, but I know your question is, for the oracle is the all-knowing and have seen it. Or, I think I read that wrong. We'll read it later. It's so dark for the dark pages. The twists and turns of life are most attuned to the nature. Let yourself nurture the chaos. Never forget you asked for this. Will you cower to the pain or continue the journey? A hero's life isn't for everybody. How could you ask now when you should have already admitted you didn't really understand? I love that. Hell yeah. We'll rip a baller for 420 points. Cheers, me. I know nothing at all. I've always asked a lot of questions, and people would always tell me I'm wise ever since I was young. I think they meant wise ass for a long time, and then one day I was actually wise, yeah? And it's because I sat back and was like, man, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't understand a goddamn thing. I need to pay the fuck attention, get good grades, and listen in and figure out what that voice in my head is, yeah? Some people like to tune it out. I went towards it. It's not for everyone. This I do not question, but I know your question, and for so is. For the oracle, you long knew, but I did too, so how do we go on? It's all unknown, and I have seen it. I don't know what this says, but it's a mess. Right. So lately, I've gotten the PMD thing pretty mellowed, but in a way, these are the new pages. These are the new pages. This is the latest update. This is the previously pretty new. You may have not heard those yet. Ah, see, that's when you should listen. We'll get there though. I'm almost done. So lately I've gotten the PMDD thing pretty mellowed, but in a way it can be really hard to recognize the symptoms for what they are. I think it's supposed to be greatly, but I didn't spell it right. I'm greatly relieved to not be in pain every day of the week, but now the mentalities shifting are so much more subtle and discreet. It feels like a dark night in my soul, at least for a week. But I now know how to hold on, let go, and accept all possible outcomes. The whisper to the heart says it wonder. Oh, wait, no, I really like this. I can't mess it up. It's hard to read my handwriting. The whisper to the heart to say it louder. The wisdom of the mind to take it slower. The whimsy of the soul to remember it all. Life has its funny way of reminding us of what is and once was at the same time to test our faith to ourselves and our futures. Do we measure up to what we want? Does what wants us measure up to us? If you never ask, life will tell still. Mellowed the hell out. It is miraculous according to every last thing I ever read. That is not to say it all the time. That is not to say it is all in the head. It is most definitely the entire body and its internal systems, often triggered by an outside influence. So I sit very still and I think plainly from the places within, and forgive me for thinking my body, which most definitely knows hate, pain, blood, torture, weakness, and absolute suffering, would just as clearly know the opposite. Love, relief, abundance, pleasure, strength, and actually maybe at peace, if not euphoric. And I deserve it. This is what we have created, collective. Because. Heard, look, but as always, maybe I don't know. I'm just a human. Way down way down here on earth. I struggle as much as anyone with the path I am on, but I recover. Just phases like the moon, none so impervious to God. In life, you have to know you can be oh so very terribly, truly wrong about something. So I let it be my heart. Nothing is wrong. In life, you have to know you can be oh so very terribly, truly wrong about something. And have the faith to do it anyway. Be so terribly wrong about something and have the faith to do it anyway. It's sort of to mirror the Be Here Now book, because it's talking to you, the consciousness, you, the person reading it, and me, as in the person who learned it, who's telling it. But I had a third awakening, if you will, a experience that reminded me of these things. Basically, somebody who called upon a certain part of my soul, which was once unhealed, and I think perhaps that's what they hoped for, was the more unhealed version, but instead they got endless inspiration. But that's not at all what they intended. And so this is a funny thing now, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it's fun to be that way. And then I come down and think, well, maybe I've made a mistake. And then I check in or I check out or I heal my scars. That's a big one. But I'm a healer because I heal my own, and then I get to heal others, and they learn how to go on and be healed, you know? Or continue it. So knowing you're going to be wrong and have the faith to do it anyway. And when you truly fathom all at stake, how much you can lose, how much you might not win, it is then you meet true acceptance for it. The endlessness of possibility and uncertainty that you meet with two things, courage and confidence. All my eyes know love. So I can see the love that looks back at me. And this is me with two E's instead of meet, that you me. Isn't that funny? There's a few other little rightos in there. Who would you be to force upon me a vision only I can see? Do you deceive powerful magic that you don't think you're doing? It is okay to be afraid of things you didn't know were there. It is much scarier when you realize it was there all along. But it is, and it was. That's powerful magic. Plus, if this is all true, how does life go on? This couldn't possibly be everywhere and everyone. You must be tired of the puzzling, none of the proving. So be it. This is self-satisfaction. Or maybe you agree, but it is you who cannot see through the evil eyes that look at me. Personally, I will always be happy to experience something good to me, no matter how fast or going slow. The constant continuous conundrum explained. We are one, but we represent individual facets to have a semblance of reality that we want. We are constantly co-opting reality. It is not possible for all to agree in oneness, for serenity is nirvana. Now we awaken. Lucky. Everyone is. If only fleeting, it is so worthy to know things like timelessness, love, kindness, hope, passion, joy, faith, newness, trust, musing, unity, gentility, inspiration, expression, compassion, expectation, honesty, excitement, hope, infinity, touch, interest, grace, uncertainty, understanding, knowing, patience, history, forgiveness, and movement home. Even if temporary to me is enough, sometimes there is no more to the story than that. Which is the next page, because it also says, just as the trees, these things grow before much here in, I don't know, after we're gone. Oh, just as the trees, these things grow before we are here and after we're gone. And I must stop to hear. I must stop to wonder when have the trees ever lied? Right? More to the story than that. But we keep going. For if you shed too much identity, you cease to exist entirely. And then what would be the fucking point of making this lifelong journey to no one? Go find it, whatever it is, with love. I don't know. And when the whole world was plotting against me, I asked not of the world. I sought not revenge, but understanding. What made the world this way, and what about me fit in it? Because if there was as much war, hate, sabotage, chaos, and evil in this world as I was shown, then both me and the world needed change. Now. Be. But it's forever, and it's always. If you love someone who doesn't love you back, you'd better understand why, so you can learn to love yourself like no one else ever did and hope someone can meet you where love is. Wow, wow, wow. It's here, isn't it? Yes, it's everywhere you are. Last page for now. So the top of this starts with the pen running out of ink, but it was the last thing I wrote, so it kind of doesn't make sense, if that makes sense. There is no convincing or even telling. Best we can do is expressing. New pen. What's with all that hate and fear being so closely tied to things like love and passion? Makes you think, well, just maybe the whole thing is something big cosmic joke or a karmic wheel that can only turn when you heal. And hey, maybe it is that deep, or otherwise we would have no reason to come back here and do this as the divine demands. Even the likelihood of an accident is somehow no more or less random than not considering the variables of space-time and the human condition. Can you repeat that? I wasn't learning the first time. Hi, Lady Luna. Thank you for the follow. That is such a good way to end it. I wish that was the actual ending. Hey, can you repeat that? I wasn't learning the first time. We've got a few more odd pages to do here. So it's 2 sheets of every color of the rainbow besides yellow, because I only had one, folded in half, written on both sides. So we've gotten back to the last sheet of red, so we have red, purple, blue, green, and the book. But it's yet to be written. We shall find out. Hopefully in the next, actually, maybe it'll be done in the next few days, but what day is it? I might be streaming tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have time to write in this. I am going to be doing a cool shoot tomorrow. Are you serious? You're lying. Because usually I know if someone's crying. But tears in the eyes is different, I suppose. So thank you. And this is something I made today. Just a reminder. If you're struggling to go on, if you're struggling for inspiration, if you're wondering why you feel like you're on the chopping block, if you wonder why you feel like everything you've ever done is a mistake, if you wonder why everything feels like it's against you, and you don't even know who God is, in case you have forgotten where you come from or where you're going, if you question everything that you've ever been knowing, then first of all, you're in the right place. And secondly, this sign is for you, yes? Now that, I feel tears. Now that, I feel tears. But stubborn tears. People who haven't cried in years and blah, 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 blah. Haha. Isn't that funny? I think I'm a witch because I moved them. Make them fucking cry about it. Funny, isn't it? So that was it. That's the whole book so far. What do y'all think? I don't want to read any more Be Here Now, so me too. Same. I love it. I'm a big crier. Getting the hang of it though. Not doing it as much lately. Thank you. Crying or the book? I don't know. So I read what I have. I don't want to go back to Be Here Now. It's a long, we're going to have a yoga session when I'm not on my period. And I have a better space to do it in. Um, and then I have to pee so bad, guys. So we have like still 30 minutes until I have to roll the ads, but I'm gonna have to just roll them. And when I come back, we'll go back into chat mode. I was gonna do some art tonight, which like, since we got the book out of the way, the new pages got read. I'm not holding it in. I'm about to go. I just wanted to catch all up and let you know. We'll go back to chat mode when I come back, and I might do some art, but maybe just not yet. I might be too tired for it. It's actually probably getting so late. It's not quite bright out, but it must be kind of late. Yeah? Oh, yeah, it's getting early. So I will be back in 3 minutes, okay? And if it's a little longer, don't hold me. Your granddad left home for the circus. He was young just like me, with hopes to explore. He married a girl in Virginia. She could swing the trapeze. They would sleep on the floor. Your mother was born in December. Thank you. That one sunny day, that winter gave up, and your warm summer eyes that flickered like fireflies. She stared at the world. It's walking by something corporate. I was thinking of it recently because somebody brought it to my attention. I also realized I should probably go. I didn't realize quite how late it was, but also realizing I got stuff I agreed to do tomorrow at certain times. And since we were reading, we weren't really like in conversation. We've been having a long, ongoing conversation because it's like a collective tower moment. Nice. I don't even want to write the song again because I'm tired. The going to the bathroom when you're on your period is just like very exhausting. It's exhausting. It's like, wow, yeah. Blood, cool. Mortality, got it. Yeah, same. I might be back tonight. Thursday, yeah. And then probably not Friday. Probably not till sometime next week, if at all next week. Thinking Tuesday at the earliest. So we shall see you. And then maybe when we do relink, we'll do some yoga. That'll be cool. And well, yeah, I just love you all so much. Yeah, whenever our paths cross again. See y'all soon. Thanks so much for listening, tuning in, and vibing with me, dude. Until next time. Namaste. It's not really my thing. Usually more good night and good luck and all that stuff. Mwah. Be well.